On today's video, we're going to give away $100 of Bitcoin to one subscriber. We'll also talk about what's next for Bitcoin and what we think price will do. And then one altcoin prime to keep pumping. All that on today's video, so keep watching. Welcome to Block Roots. I am Josh. On behalf of my co-founder, Cameron Clark, we just want to say welcome to the channel. If you've not yet subscribed, you know what to do. Just click the red button below. You'll get notifications whenever we pop up a new video each and every week. We try to do this at least 3 times a week so that you can have up-to-date analysis and some price targets to be able to help you with your trading and investing. And just know that every time you leave a comment on each video, we put you in a drawing for $100 of Bitcoin. So make sure to subscribe below, comment and engage on the video. We'll go ahead and put you in a $100 giveaway that, of course, we're having today for this week over the past few videos that we've had. So again, if you like non-sensational technical analysis with a little humor here and there, then this is the channel for you. Keep watching, and we're going to go ahead and get into the Bitcoin chart. As always, nothing is financial advice. So yesterday on Twitter, I asked people what they thought about this chart right here. Would they buy or sell this specific asset based on what they see on the chart? And notice you don't see any prices, you don't see any dates, and you don't see the actual name of the asset. Just what is your decision based on the chart? What would you do specifically based on this? Well, the responses that I got were that 54% said that they would buy the asset, thinking that it would move up to resistance before breaking down to support, and 46% of people thought that this asset is about to break down to support. Well, if you're asking about the chart, what is this asset? It's actually the inverse chart of Bitcoin on the 3-day time frame. So why would I inverse or flip the chart upside down? Well, that's because flipping a chart to its inverse view will help knock out the bias, at times when it comes to analyzing the price, meaning that if this asset actually looks like it's going to pump, or go up to resistance, on an inverse chart, if you look at the prices to the right-hand side, actually it means that the price is going to drop, And then in reality, the same thing as if the price looks like it's going to actually drop on this flipped chart, it means that price in reality is actually going to go up on the normal chart. And the simple thing about inverse charts is that it just gives another vantage point, It's a tool that you can use with trading that is just going to give you another look at the chart, hopefully in an unbiased perspective. Many times I've actually flipped a chart and have actually changed my mind on some of my analysis based on that alone. I actually use that with Confluence. Now, in order to do this, if you're on TradingView, the only thing that you have to do is up here is actually click 1 minus, and then the ticker, for this it's XBT USD. If you're doing stocks, it'd be 1 minus SPX, whatever ticker that you have, 1 minus. And what's going to happen is it's going to flip the chart, the prices inverse up and down. And then also too, it will change the red candles to green and the green candles to red. And then you're probably asking me as well, so what would you do with this chart? What would you do with Bitcoin right now? And that's kind of the million-dollar question for me and everybody else, because if I knew the answer, I'd be happy to tell you, because as you can see, Bitcoin continues to compress more and more as time goes. And this is the 1-day chart that is actually quite zoomed out. And as, of course, I put the compression down, or the triangle, you're going to see that this could go on. Today is July 3rd. If I move to the apex over here, we're looking at July 10th, 9th, 10th, 11th possibly. This could go on for another week, week and a half, where it compresses until the next volatile move. So yeah, we're going to have to stay on our toes. But if you're worried at all, regardless, I would argue that regardless if Bitcoin moves up or if it moves down, that as a Bitcoin holder or trader yourself, more than likely if you're watching this, you're going to stand to benefit either way. And I even explain this, and I say this quite simply, we truly are in a win-win scenario right now, regardless of which way Bitcoin breaks, right? If it breaks up, of course, price will range over 10K for a while after being held down below 10K for so long. And I even talked about that on a previous video. And if price breaks, it's going to give you more time to accumulate in 4-digit territory, meaning that price is going to stay under 10K. So you're going to be able to get, Bitcoin at $9,000 or less. And to go on to say in this tweet that really anything is possible. Yeah, it could push up above 10K up to 12K and then drop right back down below, or it could range below 10K for months on end. But the point being, regardless, I wouldn't bet against Bitcoin. So again, you definitely want to stay encouraged overall when it comes to the Bitcoin chart and price. And so, at the moment, really, where are we at? What are we looking to do? And so, right now we are looking at this mid-range support right here. If I go to the 4-hour chart, that's probably going to look a little bit better, right? So you can see the mid-range support / resistance, the top of the range, the bottom of the range at 8,500. And we're still unable to get above 92.70s. Okay, so that is the mid-range resistance right now. We couldn't close above it. We went back down, and then now we're ranging. Now, remember, in the last video, I talked about specifically that I could see price move back down, liquidate those longs, those late long over leveraged positions, and then possibly move on back up. So we could possibly see that, and I'll tell you why. And that's because if you look at the liquidation level chart, when I last showed you guys this chart, basically we were up here in this area before we dropped, and I talked about how, as I just said, that the price could move on down, take out those late longs, and then possibly move on back up. Now we're going sideways, and you're seeing here that there's not a lot of longs or shorts close to price, but what we do see is that especially these light blue circles right here, these larger, the larger the circle, the larger the position size. The light blue specifically is 50x shorts. The purple is 25x shorts. And so what we can see price do is make its way back up in these areas, push back up this way, liquidate all these late shorters, grab that liquidity, and then push back down. Now we could also continue to grind on back up, because what I've talked to you about before is that really the candle and the quickness in the price action. If price quickly moves up here, takes out all these liquidation levels, and then moves right back down, that is a clear sign to me that price will continue to move on down. And as we look at the Bitcoin chart, it would then move on back down to 8,900, and then from there likely break and move on down to 8,500. But if price were to move on up here, liquidate these late shorters, continue to grind on up, I would imagine that then price would continue to move on up to around 96 to 9,700, retest this recent high, and then from there, if you can break this level, continue on up back to retest 10,000. Okay, so that's really what I'm looking at right now. If you look on the hourly chart, as I showed you a little bit earlier, this is the key level as far as the hourly that we want to break above in order to retest the mid-range resistance. And so that is around 91.90, 91.95. That acted as resistance, then support, and it has broken down from there. So I do believe that for me to get, quote, even semi-bullish, the price continue to move on up, we got to at least break this area first, and then move on back up and to continue on up from there. But that's really what I'm looking at overall when it comes down to that. Again, 10K is the place that we want to break, right? Because that is the top of the range, and that has held since late September, 10 months. And so that goes to show you that anybody watching this, not just me, not just you, but the bigger players watching a price move on the daily chart breaking above this area, very likely they're going to pile on in and push that price higher, because again, this is a major market structure that would be broken. And of course, when it comes down to it, it was only broken once back in February within the past 10 months. That's not very long, for only a week, and then quickly dropped below and then acted as resistance after that. The move right here above this, I'm not too worried about it. That was basically a fake out. Grab some liquidity and of course has pushed price on back down to even below 9,000. So that is the market overall look right there, what we're watching as far as Bitcoin. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I talked about a specific altcoin that I feel could be primed to continue to pump. And what is that? Well, this altcoin is actually our altcoin pick of the week in last week's Crypto Insights. And again, Crypto Insights is a newsletter that we release here on Blockroots. It's only $9.95 a month. And over the past 2 weeks, we've had compounding of over 70% gains on both of our altcoin picks of the week, including this week's pick. So it's definitely, I think, worth the time and worth the value. Only $9.95 a month for a lot of altcoin picks and charts, what we're looking at as far as detailed analysis and a lot of things that will help you out even as a holder or investor. So I'll drop the link below for insights. But let's go ahead and take a look at this altcoin at Kava Labs. Now, I'm not going to talk about the fundamentals when it comes to Kava Labs, right? Because this is technically not about fundamentals. This is about price, market, and really to help you out as far as trading and investing whenever it comes to altcoins and Bitcoin. But it is a DeFi company, and DeFi has been doing really well right now with this decentralized finance. And so why I point this altcoin out, again, is because if you look at the entire DeFi list that you can find on like CoinMarketCap, they have a whole list of DeFi projects. You're going to notice that Kava Labs has a relatively smaller market cap compared to a lot of the other altcoins that are DeFi. It roughly has around 39 to 40 million as far as a market cap. And so a lot of the other altcoins that are really popular when it comes to DeFi are well over 100 million, are making their way well over 100 million market cap. And so I do believe that Kava is relatively underpriced compared to a lot of the other DeFi projects, meaning that I do believe that it continued to push up to possibly 100 million market cap or so in the coming weeks, months, days. I mean, you don't really know. Some of these DeFi projects pump within days. Some it does take a few weeks. Hopefully it's weeks and not days, because the smaller gains as it continues to trend up are better. But overall, this asset continues to push up. You're going to notice that both the trend lines continue to, in all these red lines in between our support resistance levels, you're going to notice that our entry level was around 10,600 sats. And so prices moved up, really held these support levels well. It got way up here around 1,500 sats, or 15,000 sats, excuse me, has broken back down to this main support level that we wrote on the first Insights update. And then since then has built up and continued to push up, where I do believe that if it does come back down, that it's going to stay on this trend line. This is the Kava BTC chart. If you look at the dollar chart over here, you know, this is the Tether chart, or the USD chart as well. We compare it to the US dollar. And this is the daily chart. And so once price breaks this red line, which is $1.28, right, that means that it's going to soon be in price discovery. Yeah, we have seen a few wicks here and there above that, which is great. It got up to I think 136 back in the day. It was as high as, 146. But right now, as you can see, this is almost an engulfing bullish candle, or bearish engulfing, as it's engulfing that bearish candle prior before it. You're going to see that price is likely going to next retest around 125. If price can hold and break there on the daily chart, more than likely it's going to go after 128, and after that, price is likely going to continue on up, as far as that goes, just like all the other DeFi assets. So point being, Kava is basically almost in price discovery zone right here, especially when it comes to daily closes. And I do believe that it is primed to continue on pumping. So be on the lookout for Kava. If you're looking to trade Kava, it is only in a few different exchanges. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the exchange with the best liquidity and the best volume, and I'll list those below in the notes, a couple of different exchanges. If you want to use those, I might throw a ref link in there. If you want to use it, you don't have to, but I'll go ahead and throw that down in there and check it out. There's only a couple, I think, that have really good volume. You don't want to go to an exchange that has really bad spreads and bad liquidity, so make sure that you get a good exchange when it comes to this or any altcoin. But when it comes to DeFi projects, specifically with those altcoins that are outperforming Bitcoin, I do feel like Kava Labs will continue to outperform Bitcoin, at least in the short and mid term. So keep an eye on that, and also keep an eye out on Crypto Insights, as I mentioned earlier, and check that out. Now, before we go, we want to go ahead and give away $100 in Bitcoin because of all you subscribers. We're really thankful for you. We want to give back to you. And by doing so, we're going to go ahead and randomly pick one person to win $100 of Bitcoin. I'm going to go ahead and randomly pick that person right now. And the winner is Sweetie. And Sweetie, thanks again. Like that content, BTC, and left the Bitcoin wallet address. Well, Sweetie, we really appreciate your support, and you're the winner of $100 of Bitcoin. So be on the lookout. We'll go ahead and send that to you today since you went ahead and left your Bitcoin address. And again, if you're interested in winning $100 of Bitcoin, it's super easy. You can just be like Sweetie here and leave a comment or engage below. Make sure that you're a subscriber, though. We want to make sure we're going to check that out. So make sure to subscribe so you can get those notifications. Go ahead and go below, comment, engage with the video today. Let us know what your thoughts are. Maybe you like Kava Labs. Maybe you like Bitcoin right now. Maybe you don't like either one. Maybe you're really into DeFi. Just go ahead and tell us your thoughts on the market or anything else that you want to tell us. It can be really anything when it comes to these videos. We just really enjoy your support, and we really hope that you're getting a lot of value out of these videos each and every week, as we are going to continue to do that at least 3 times a week for you guys. And so be on the lookout for the next video. Again, Bitcoin again is still ranging and compressing. Hopefully we get that big move here soon. As we move here into the weekend, typically not a lot of action happens on the weekend. So, you know, again, don't be on the edge too much over the next day or so. Typically, Sunday is the day where it tends to move more so than Saturday. So again, enjoy tomorrow, enjoy the weekend. Go ahead and get outside, enjoy the weather wherever you're at in the world. And with that said, we hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. Be on the lookout for more videos. Make sure to comment and engage in the video below. And with that said, trade effectively, be healthy, and we'll see you guys soon.